Hello students and a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Gradeup, India's largest online educational platform. My name is Navin Iyer and today I am here once again with another session from Gradeup, which is actually basically based on adjectives. We will be going through a few questions based on them and let's see how you fare. A very good afternoon. I can see a few people have joined in on the app. And what about the YouTube? Let me check that as well. Just guys, quickly keep liking and sharing the session, and we will start the session in a minute. Okay, I can see a few people have joined in on YouTube as well. Great. A very good afternoon and welcome, a very warm welcome to another session from Gradeup, guys. So today's session is basically based on one of the parts of speech called adjectives. Okay. You will see questions based on it. Let's see how you fare in those questions. I want this session to be interactive, so do not chat among yourselves, which I usually see in the regular sessions. You people start chatting with one another. So let's not do that. Let's keep this session interactive. I want you to answer, and then I will discuss the concepts here. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's start the session at once. Before I start, I would like you to take a screenshot of the schedule, guys, for people who have joined in just today. Okay, also subscribe to the channel and take the screenshot of this particular screen and be online on those days and times mentioned in front of you. Okay, different sessions are conducted on these different times. I would like you to be online, and you will actually increase your knowledge by doing that, by watching such sessions. So subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications about such sessions as well. Okay, the first question, guys, here for you, it says, read the sentence to find out whether there is an error in it. The error, if any, will be in one part of the sentence. The number corresponding to that part will be your answer. If the given sentence is correct as it is, mark the answer as no error. You have already attempted such questions, I believe. Ignore the errors of punctuation, if any. Okay, you don't need to look for punctuation errors. Now, the question says, many companies encourage their employees to using alternative means of transportation rather than the car. Can you tell me which part of the sentence has an error? Okay, I want your answers as well, guys. Can you tell me which part of the sentence has an error on this one? Okay, I would really appreciate if you can give the explanations as well, apart from choosing the part of the sentence which has an error. Okay, wonderful. I can see most people have given the correct answers. Absolutely right. Guys, also from next question onwards, whichever part you feel, just write that part in the chat box and also give the explanation at the same time. Okay? Also write the explanation at the same time. All right. So here in this sentence, you should have many companies encourage their employees to using. You cannot say encourage to using. Encourage to use. Okay, error is in part 2. So the answer should be B. Okay, B, part 2. You have to say to use because after encourage, this is the verb. After encourage, you put to infinitive. Okay, now this question was based on one of the verbs concept. This was not based on adjectives. Now, what is to infinitive? To infinitive is simply nothing but 2 plus V1. Okay, this has to be learned, guys, which verb takes which preposition, or sorry, whether verb takes a infinitive or a gerund. That is very important. Like, for example, if you have a sentence like this, she does not mind to stay or staying alone. She does not mind to stay alone, or she does not mind to staying alone. Like, the question is, the meaning of the sentence is, usko akele rehne se koi आपत्ति nahi hai. She does not have any problem in staying alone. So what would you write? She does not mind to stay alone, or she does not mind staying alone. Now here, this to stay is basically called a to infinitive, which is 2 plus V1. And staying is basically called a gerund. Okay, gerund are ing verbs that act like a noun. So which do you think should come here? To stay or staying? What do you think? Okay, I'm getting mixed answers again. Some are saying to stay, some are saying staying. Okay, guys, to and stay is one. Let me tell you, this is one option. Okay, to stay is one option, staying is another option. So, what do you think should come here? To stay? Okay, now let me tell you here, the rule says that after mind, you should always put a gerund. After mind, you should always put a gerund. So, the sentence should be, she does not mind staying alone. She does not mind staying alone. After mind, you have to put a gerund. So if you put to infinitive, which is to stay, that is incorrect. Okay, there is a list of verbs. There is a list in which it says which of these verbs takes a to infinitive, which of these takes a gerund. That list has to be learned. That's extremely important. Okay, but regularly in the regular course, I provide you with the list which you can learn. However, you will get that list when you Google it, when you search it on Google as well. Okay, so I hope that's understood. Even if you do not remember that list, if you have regular reading habits, guys, if you have regular reading habits, you can easily solve such questions. Becomes very easy for you. Okay, let's move on to the next question now. Answer is B, absolutely. Next question says, the pharmacist carefully measured out a dose of herbal medicine and told to me how to brew it. Can you tell me which part of the sentence has an error? Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. Once you answer, and then I'll discuss the concepts. Guys, trust me, these concepts that I discuss in these sessions are extremely important when you get questions in your exams based on correct usage of grammar, correct usage of words, and also error correction or error detection. This is also important in phrase substitution questions. Okay, wonderful. I got a good answers, a lot of good answers on the app. What about students on YouTube, guys? Okay, absolutely. Right, guys. Most of you gave me the correct answer. The error is in part 4, which is D. 4 is not written here, but it should have been 4. Error is in part 4. You cannot write to after told. After told, to does not come. Okay, now a quick answer. Let me give you a quick explanation about these words. After, tell, order, request, ask, advise. These are some common words which you do not write to after them. You simply write someone. Tell someone, order someone, request someone, ask someone, advise someone. If you say, Ramesh asked to his father, Ramesh asked asked to his father about his work. Ramesh asked to his father about his work. You cannot write it this way. Let me tell you, after asked, you cannot write to over here. You simply say, Ramesh asked his father about his work. Ramesh asked his father about his work. So, after asked, you cannot write to in this sentence. Okay, also let me tell you, after suggest, after say, after explain, after listen. These are some common words. After these, you should always use to, and then you say someone. That's extremely important. I'm giving you important things, and these questions based on these words are often asked in your exams, guys. Okay, suppose I say, I suggested him to start a business. Now, the question is this sentence correct? I suggested him to start a business. This is a wrong. Okay, this is a blunder. You have to say, I suggested to him to start a business. That is correct. Okay. Also, many a time I see people saying that I like listening. I like listening songs. You cannot say I like listening songs. You say I listen. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. There was a bit of network problem. Regret the inconvenience. Uh, I actually left at that point in time where I was explaining about listening, right? I was saying most people say I like listening songs. You cannot say I like listening songs, but you have to say I like listening to songs. Okay, I like listening to songs. Similarly, many a time I've seen people saying, please explain me what your problem is. You cannot say, please explain me, but you have to say, please explain to me. So please remember, we often tend to make a lot of mistakes with these words, and these words often appear in sentences which are asked in your exams. Okay, error correction and usage based or sentence improvement questions as well. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. The next question says, we are so busy to try to make a better tomorrow that we forget to make the best of today. Okay, guys, the previous question, question number 2 was based on verbs again. This is also based on verbs. Okay, so I've given you a hint that this question is based on verbs. Just let me know which part of the sentence has an error. Okay, can you give me the explanation as well? I have told you earlier, guys, to give me an explanation as well. Okay, guys, most people have answered correctly. Error is in part 1, so the answer should be A. Now, the rule says after busy, you should write in and then you write a gerund. Okay, after busy, you always write in and then you write a gerund. Okay, now busy in some work, busy in something. Okay, busy always takes the preposition in if you are referring to something. Like trying to make this is something. This is not a living thing, right? But after busy, you write the preposition with if you are referring to someone. Okay, suppose I say, where is your manager? You'll say, my manager is busy with the boss. Okay, busy with the boss. Probably he's discussing something with the boss. Probably he is in a meeting. Then you simply say, my manager is busy with someone. Okay, and busy in something. Okay, that's the concept based on prepositions. Do remember that after busy you always say in, and after in you put a gerund. Here sorry, here you put trying here. Okay, so trying, when you say trying here, this is basically a gerund, and in place of to you have to put in. Okay, remember this. Okay, so the answer is part A. Wonderful. Most people answered it correctly. Let's move on to the next question, guys. Question number 4 says, having seen the tide was now running in his direction, he renewed his campaign for reform. Can you tell me which part of the sentence has an error on this one? Okay, good. A pretty easy one, this one again. If you're practicing, if you have been practicing regularly, you surely can attempt this question as well. Having seen the tide now running in his direction, he renewed his campaign. Okay, whenever you have having, after having, you should always put the third form of the verb. So you say having seen. Okay, you say having seen the tide, and you cannot put was also. Say, having seen the tide now running in his direction, he renewed his campaign for reform. Error is in part one. After having, you have to put the third form of the verb, and you have to remove was as well. So whosoever said A was absolutely right. A is the correct answer for this one. First part has an error in this. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Seeing the tide now running in his direction. Yes, you can do that as well. In place of having seen, you can simply say seeing the tide now running. Okay, you can simply put the gerund seeing as well. Okay, next question goes, we considering the strength of the opposition, we did very well to score 2 goals. Can you tell me which part of the sentence has an error on this one? Says we considering the strength of the opposition, we did very well to score 2 goals. Which part of the sentence has an error? And also give me the explanation, guys. Yeah, was also wrong. I removed was in the previous question. Yes. Raining through the night, and probably that's the problem. That's the reason there is a bit of problem here. Please bear with me. I appreciate your patience. All right, guys. So I'm back. I hope you people are able to see me properly now. Okay. So let me come to the error for this one. Error in this part of the sentence. The error is in part one. You cannot write we here. You'll simply say, considering the strength of the opposition, we did very well to score 2 goals. Now, the subject is already written with this clause here. The subject is written, we did very well to score 2 goals. Now, considering the strength of the opposition, this is basically a phrase, guys. If you've attended my classes, you'll get to know what exactly are phrases. Now, this phrase is giving you information about we. So, do not need to write a subject for this phrase. You simply say, considering the strength of the opposition, we did very well to score 2 goals. So error here is in part 1. So A is the correct answer. Whosoever said A was absolutely right for this one. Okay? Good. No, you cannot omit it from part 2. Nidhi, let me tell you, if you omit we from part 2, the sentence will be, we considering the strength of the opposition did very well. We considering the strength of the opposition did very well to score 2 goals. Okay, here after subject you have the gerund. You have the gerund. Yes, you can do it. You can do that as well. Yes, if you say we considering the strength of the opposition did very well, you can remove this second we as well. Absolutely, Nidhi, you are right. Okay, now, but let me tell you, whenever you have such questions wherein you have errors in 2 parts, you generally mark the first part which has an error. Okay, you generally go with the first part of the sentence which has an error. Don't go with the second part. Okay, so the first error which you see in the sentence, you should mark that. Okay, so that's the reason we marked A in this one. However, whatever you said was also right. Yes, you can remove the second B, even then the sentence would have been right. Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question says farmers are eligible for government support if they let certain amount of land lie fallow. Okay, so tell me which part of the sentence has an error in this one. No mastery chasers. You cannot use after we in the first part. No, you cannot. When you say considering, which itself means after considering. Okay. Tell me which part of the sentence has an error on this one, guys. You know the meaning of fallow, guys. Fallow basically means it's a piece of land which is plowed. You know what plowing means, right? It's plowed, but it's not, the seeds are not sown. That is fallow land, wherein it's just plowed, but the seeds are not sown. So it says, farmers are eligible for government support if they let certain amount of land lie fallow. Can you tell me which part of the sentence has an error? To lie. No. After let, you always put lie. Simple infinitive. Now let me tell you guys, error here is in part 3, C part. Now always remember, after certain, okay, you always put the noun which is plural. You say the noun which is always plural. So after certain in this sentence, you should say certain amounts of land lie follow. Okay, certain amounts of land. So you cannot say certain amount. After certain, always remember the noun should be plural. In place of certain amounts, you can simply say some amount of. If you say some amount can also be said, certain amounts can also be said. After some, you can use singular, plural both, but after certain, the noun which comes should always be in the plural number. If I say the sentence is, there is a certain place, uh, there is a certain place where uh, Indians, suppose I say, there is a certain place where, suppose I say, Indians, चलो Indians ही लिखते हैं. Indians are allowed Suppose this is a sentence. There is a certain place where Indians are allowed. Now the sentence is incorrect. What did I tell you? After certain, you have to always use the plural noun. So you cannot say there is a certain place. After certain, it should be always places. And you cannot write a because I'm not referring to a place. A or an always denotes a single entity. So I'll remove a as well. And because it's places, I have to remove is as well. And how would I say? I have to say there are certain places where Indians are allowed. There are certain places where Indians are allowed. Okay? So that's how you have to write the sentence. Always remember after certain, you always write the noun which is in the plural number. In the plural number. Always, always, always. So error was in part 3. Okay? So C is the answer. Next question. It says current demographic trends suggest that there will be less school dropouts coming into the workforce in 10 years' time. Tell me which part of the sentence has an error. Okay, someone was saying, guys, in the previous question, one more thing I would like to tell you. Someone said I have to write two lie here. Now let me tell you, after let, you put V1, which is simple infinitive. I write it as SI, which is simple infinitive. However, when you say allow, you have to say 2 plus V1, which is 2 infinitive. Now let me tell you, I will say, I will let you go home. I will let you go home. I will allow you to go home. Okay? I will let you drive my car. I will allow you to drive my car. Okay? So after let, you simply put V1. So after let, you have the first form here, which is lie. If you had written two lie would have been incorrect there. But if you had allow here, this would have been incorrect. You would have to say allow certain amounts of land to lie fallow. So what do you remember? After let, you put the first form. After allow, you put 2 plus V1. Okay? Like, I will let you stay here. Let you stay. I cannot say I will let you to stay. But when I say allow, I have to say I will allow you to stay here. Remember, very important concept. Again, mostly questions based on these words are asked. Okay, these concepts are asked. Okay, question number 7, guys. Question 7 says current demographic trends suggest that there will be less school dropouts coming into the workforce in 10 years' time. Tell me which part of the sentence has an error. D. Okay, mostly people are saying D. Okay, most people are saying D as the answer in this one. Okay, let me give you the answers, guys. First, look at the explanation carefully. Guys, people who are paying attention will be at your own mercy. I can't help you in your exams, okay? But people who are paying attention, let me tell you, you'll get to learn a lot. Right, in adjectives, we have 3 degrees, which is the positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative degree. Positive, comparative, superlative. Like in positive degree, I can write few, comparative, it becomes fewer, and superlative, it becomes fewest. In positive, I write little, in comparative, I write less, and in the superlative, it becomes least. Now, let me tell you, positive is used for, few, fewer, fewest is used for countable nouns. Little less least is used for uncountable nouns. Okay? Few, fewer, fewest is used for countable nouns. Little less least is used for uncountable nouns. Now look here carefully. If I say there are few students in the class, students are countable. But if I'm comparing between two classes, I'll say there are fewer students in this class than that one. Comparative. But if I'm talking about many classes, I said this class has the fewest students. Okay, that is countable. Now, for uncountable nouns, I like write little, less, and least. There is little water in the bottle. Water is uncountable, so I can say little. But when I'm comparing water kept in two bottles, I will say this bottle has less water than the other one. And if I'm referring to many bottles here, I'll say this bottle has the least water of all the bottles. Okay, so few, fewer, fewest is countable, little, less, least is uncountable. Now look here, you have dropouts. Now dropouts, let me tell you, this is a countable noun. Okay, dropouts. You know who dropouts are? Who actually leave school before completing it. Okay, before doing matriculation. If someone leaves school, he's called a dropout. Okay, it could be due to any reason. So this is a countable noun. So if it's a countable noun, I cannot say less. Current demographic trends suggest that there will be few fewer school dropouts because you have to put the comparative. Gradually going forward, I will be comparing. So yes, current demographic trends suggest that there will be fewer school dropouts coming into the workforce in 10 years time. Error was in part 3. So C is the answer for this. Okay. I hope that's understood. I hope the explanation is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. Answer is C for this one. Question number 8 says there remains a considerate doubt over the existence of life on other planets. Okay, tell me which part of the sentence has an error on this one. No. Anish, you will write few number of, but I'm referring to the years to come, right? Gradually, going forward, there will be fewer dropouts. कम से कम होते जाएंगे. That's the reason I said fewer dropouts. Okay, understand that. All right. Now, let me tell you which part of the sentence has an error. Guys, in adjectives, you have to understand meanings of words. Like, do you feel there is a difference between economic and economical? Okay. Do you feel there's a difference between alternate and alternative? Okay, these are a few words that have to be learned in adjectives because these two words may look similar, but there is a difference between these words. Like I say considerate and I say considerable. Okay. Now, what is the difference between these similar looking words? These similar looking words is extremely important because we actually miss these words while attempting questions. We think that it's absolutely fine. Even in spoken English, if you use the other word in place of the other one, people would not find the error. People say there is no error in the sentence. Now, let me tell you the difference between economic and economical. Now, whenever you say economic, it has to be related to the economy. Okay. When I say India's economical condition has worsened after the coronavirus pandemic. India's economical condition, you cannot say economical condition. You say India's economic condition. Or you can simply say India's economy. Or India's economic condition. So economic is related to the economy. Okay. The economical means one who does not spend a lot of money, one who saves and spends. It's kind of a frugal. the synonym of frugal is economical. If I say, if you want to save money, you have to be economic. If you want to save money for the future, you have to be economic. You cannot say economic here. You have to say you have to be economical. Okay, economical matlab you have to think and spend. Okay, you cannot be a lavish or a spendthrift. Okay, lavish person. You can't. Now, what's the difference between alternate and alternative? If I say I go to I go to temple every alternative day, that is wrong. I go to temple every alternate day. Alternate means leaving one. एक एक छोड़ के. That is alternate. Now, what is alternative? If I say I don't have any alternate but to uh, break my savings, I do not have any alternate but to break my savings. So here alternate is wrong. I will say I do not have any alternative but to break my savings. Alternative means option, solution, upay. Okay, that is alternative. Similarly, considerate means sensitive. Considerate means sensitive. Okay, if you see a poor on the streets, you should be considerate and give him some food. Okay, you should be sensitive towards him and give him some food. But when you say considerable, which means sufficient, a good amount of, that is considerable. So here I'm not talking about sensitive doubt, but I'm talking about a sufficient doubt. There remains enough doubt. You could say enough. So you have to say considerable, which is the answer for this question. You cannot say considerate. Okay, it should be considerable, which is the correct answer. Error is in part one. So A is the correct answer. Whosoever said A was absolutely right. Okay, what is the difference between advice and advice? Guys, probably in one of the sessions I discussed, someone asked me this question just now. Advice CE, advice SC. Practice CE and practice SC. Now the basic difference is words ending with CE are nouns. Okay, advice and practice. These are nouns, and words ending with SE is basically a verb. Okay, so whichever parts of speech you are writing in a sentence, if you're using it like a noun, if you're using it as a noun, you write the noun form, or if it's being used as a verb, you use the verb form. If I say, if you want to get good marks, comma, you should practice a lot. Is this sentence correct? What do you think? If you want to get good marks, you should practice a lot. What do you think? Is this sentence correct or not? Guys, this session will go on for 10 more minutes, okay? Please bear with me. I'm sure you people are learning a lot of new things. So it doesn't matter if the session is a bit long as well. Not a problem at all. Okay, so remember here in this sentence, I need the verb form of practice. After should, I put the verb form. I cannot say practice, CE. I have to say practice, SC. Because if you know this rule, after modal verbs, do you know what modal verbs are? Modal verbs are will, would, can, could, shall, should, may, might, ought to, need to, must. These are modal verbs. Will, would, can, could, shall, should, etc. And rule says after modal verbs, you always put the first form of the verb. You put the first form of the verb. You cannot put a noun after a modal verb, right? So if you put the verb, you have to put the verb form of practice. And which is the verb form of practice? This is the verb form. If you put this, it will be incorrect because this is the noun form of it. Okay, I hope that's clear. Next question to you. Question number 9. He suggested that increasing the counseling skills of general practitioners may be preferable than widening the primary health care team. Tell me which part of the sentence has an error. Anyone, guys? If you've studied adjectives somewhere along your schooling or college life, school life or college life, and you remember the concept, probably you can answer this one. ए बी सी डी इनमें से कोई एक, प्रज्वल, यही लिख के आओगे आप एग्जाम में, ए बी सी डी इनमें से कोई एक, और एग्जामिनर भी लिखेगा 0, 25, 75 या 100, इनमें से कोई एक. Okay, you cannot do that. Okay, now इधर देखो, suggested that increasing the counseling sales skills of general practitioner may be preferable than widening the primary health care team. Okay, now remember this, whenever you have words like senior, junior, superior, inferior, elder, prior, prefer, and preferable. Remember these words, guys. I'm giving you additional words just so that you could remember. After these words, you always put the preposition to. Than cannot be used. Neither can you use over. These are common mistakes that we do. So after preferable, you cannot put than here. You'll put to. So the sentence should be suggested that increasing the counseling skills of general practitioners may be preferable to widening the primary healthcare team. So error is in 3. The answer is part C. Okay, option C is the correct answer for this one. Is that clear to all? Always remember, with these words you always put to. Many times people say, I always prefer coffee over tea. I always prefer coffee over tea, which is wrong. You say, I always prefer coffee to tea. He's senior than me in this organization. Wrong. He is senior to me, junior to me, superior to, inferior to. Remember all these words. Very important. Okay. All right. Yes. With decrease or increase, you put in. HB Krishna. You're absolutely right. Let's move on to the next question, guys. Question 10. The security of all operation has been jeopardized by one careless person. Okay, the security of the all operation has been jeopardized by one careless person. Tell me which part of the sentence has an error. Guys, do it quickly. Give me the answers quickly so that I can move on with the session. Okay, I want you not to just give me the answer, or I don't want to just tell you the answer. I want to give you the explanations as well. That's the reason it takes time for each question. Or hardly 10 or 15 questions would take 15 or 20 minutes, not more than that. It's already 45 minutes right now. So please bear with me. And you know, people, guys, for the inconvenience, there was a bit of inconvenience. There was a network problem. I regret that. But if you stay with me for these sessions, trust me, you people will actually learn a lot. Okay. Okay. Most of you have given the correct answers here. The security of the all operation has been jeopardized by one careless person. Guys, let me tell you the difference between all and whole. Now, all can be written for countable nouns as well and uncountable nouns as well. Whole is written for whole is also written for both countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, now but let me tell you, whenever I say whole, I am referring to the entire thing. That's when I write the whole. And all is written for one each and everything. Now let me tell you this in Hindi. All का हिंदी होगा सारा या सभी, और whole का हिंदी होता है पूरा. For people who understand Hindi well, for them I'm explaining this. All means सारा या सभी and whole means पूरा. Now if you say सभी students present हैं, all the students are present today. पूरा क्लास प्रेजेंट है, द होल क्लास इज प्रेजेंट टुडे. ओके, मैं सारे अंडे खा गया, आई एट ऑल द एग्स. मैं पूरा दर्जन खा गया. I ate the whole dozen. I ate the whole dozen of eggs. Whole comes in form of entirety, the complete thing, the whole dozen. When I'm referring to each and every egg, so I say I have eaten all the eggs. Okay, that's the basic difference. Let me tell you here. Now, after all, the noun, if you put countable, now operation is obviously countable. So if you put operations here, if you put an S to operations and make it operations, you can do that, but the meaning of the sentence would not be intact. It would say the security of all operations. Again, you have to put have also here. So error will be in two parts. Have been jeopardized by one careless person. So if you put operations here, has will also change to have. Error will be in two parts. Okay. So what I do is I'll say the security of the whole operation. I cannot say all, but I refer to the entire operation. So I say whole operation. Error is in part two, so I select B as the answer. Okay, I hope that is clear. Good. So that's the difference between all and whole, guys. Whatever you want to use, accordingly you use it. If I say I have eaten the whole cake, the entire cake I have eaten. I have eaten the whole cake. I have eaten all the pastries. If there were many pastries, I have eaten all of them. I say all. All can also be used for uncountable nouns. Like all the water has leaked from the tank. All the water can also be used. Okay, for uncountable nouns as well. I hope that's clear to you. Okay, next question. So error was in part B. Next, question 11 says, a Jewish bookstore owner, Guido Orifice, struggles to protect his son from the horrors of concentration camps by telling him that they are playing a game to save his life and innocent. Which part of the sentence has an error here? A pretty easy one, this one, guys. What do you think? Okay, guys, someone asked me what's the meaning of jeopardized. Jeopardized is to put someone or something in danger, mistakenly, probably. Generally, mistakenly, put something or someone in danger. It could be mistakenly or it could be intentionally as well. That is jeopardized. Okay, guys, let me tell you, error here is in if you say Jewish bookstore owner Guido Orifice struggles to protect his son from the horrors of concentration camps by telling him that they are playing a game to save his life, and you cannot say innocent, to save his life and that of innocence. Okay, you cannot say save his life because you're saying his life. You have to say that and the life of innocence. Okay, so error is in part 4. You'll mark D as the answer. D is the answer for this one. Guys, this is a pretty lengthy concept that I will explain in the adjectives part in detail. You have to study the entire concept of adjectives. Because I said, if you say save his save his son and innocence, that's okay. But when you say save his life, you have to say and save his life and that of innocence, wherein that would actually refer to the life of innocence. Okay, so D is the correct answer. Error was in part 4. Question 12 says the fear mongering ultimate failed to impress the American public, and over the years, Social Security and its counterpart Medicare have become the only safety nets for a majority of America's elderly. Tell me which part of the sentence has an error in this one. Okay, guys. Now let me tell you here the error is in part 1, which is A. Now, what is the error? It says the fear mongering ultimate failed. Now, failed is a verb, right? Failed is a verb, and for verb, you basically need an adverb here. But here, ultimate is an adjective. When you say ultimate, this is an adjective. And if your people have taken my classes, you would know whenever you write an ly to an adjective, it becomes an adverb. And here you are talking about failed. You have to write a word which qualifies failed, which is a verb. So you need to apply an adverb in this sentence. Adverb should come. So you cannot say ultimate failed, but you have to say ultimately failed. So the error is the fear mongering ultimately failed to impress the American public, and over the years, Social Security and its counterpart Medicare have become the only safety nets for a majority of America's elderly. So that should be the explanation for this one. That is the concept for this one. Okay, I hope that's clear to you. Okay. With that, we come to the end of the session, guys. Also, let me tell you a few important highlights about the course being launched from Gradeup. This is a detailed course for the CLAT 2021 that is about to be conducted next year. It is a 1 year plan. It is a comprehensive course for people who are aspiring for the CLAT in 2021. It's a 1 year program wherein you have a detailed day-wise study plan, and all the concepts will be taught to you on um, in a regular basis from each and every subject. Okay, so that you can reach your dream NLU. You'll get more than 330 live classes, guys, according to new CLAT pattern and IELTS pattern. Okay, you also get more than 7,000 practice questions, mock tests for CLAT, IELTS, SLAT, and MACT, BA, LLB. You get topic-wise quizzes and PDFs for revision and full coverage of current affairs and legal knowledge. Okay, so the concepts will be taught to you similar in a similar fashion that I did today. Okay, but that will be a detailed teaching, detailed training on each and every subject. And you have the top faculties. You can start the free trial by clicking on the description link below. You get a certain number of few number of classes. You get a few classes that are absolutely free for you. You can check the trial for that as well. You can call up this number for any purchase related queries. Okay. All right. These are the faculties who would be teaching you. You have Surjit sir for legal reasoning, Shantanu sir for current affairs, Savitri ma'am for critical reasoning. You have me for English, Ankit sir for analytical reasoning, and Pranav sir for quant and DI. So you must be aware of most of the faculties which you see here. Okay. And also for people who haven't seen, who joined in late, there is a schedule in the beginning of this session. Take a screenshot of that and be online for YouTube sessions as well. Right. There is also the Gradeup Green Card for law exams 2021. You can practice online mock tests, guys, according to the latest pattern based on CLAT, IELTS, SLAT, and MHCT, BA, for 12 months. Okay, the validity of which is 12 months, and you are getting it for 4199 right now. So with that, we come to the end of the session today, guys. You can click on the trial and join the Gradeup classroom. And also follow me on the Gradeup app. You also get a lot of free videos and questions on the app as well. You install the app through Google Play Store and follow me on that. So thank you for watching the session, guys. Do like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next session. Until then, goodbye, stay safe, and take care, everyone. Bye bye.